All right, all right, all right. Settle down. Come on in. But take your shoes off. Don't touch anything. Don't look at anything. And don't even think about breaking anything. Come on in. Let's go do a weather check. We got some interesting weather today. Our first snowfall in Toronto. And this is a regular thing. Now that they broke the seal, it's going to become, it'll be coming down hard and fast. So it's friggin' cold, it's wet, it's slushy, it's heavy. It was actually kind of like bone chilling. Took the kids out tobogganing. But yeah, this is what we got to deal with. I know a lot of my viewers are in warm weather climate and they've never seen snow or don't even know what snow is, so it's so fascinating. It's just damn cold. It's like touching snow is like, you know, just holding on to ice cubes. But this is the time for the cold frags to come out. Come on, and I'm gonna give you my fragrance of the week. All right, so fragrance of the week and is Oud Ispahan. I've got I think that's a 2012 I got this in. And this is 2020 I picked that up. Also want to talk about L'Instant de Guerlain. Got some questions about L'Instant Lidge. I've got I think this is, that's the EDT. I've got a second generation bottle somewhere. Not sure where that went. I also want to talk about Ombre Nomad. And I want to talk about Santal Royale. Okay. Oh, and while I'm at it, let's talk about, where did she go? Oh, here we go. Oud Palau. All right. So, how am I going to set this up? Let's turn it this way. I'm going to use my Diptyque holiday candle as to prop up my camera. All right. So we've got here Oud Ispahan. This is a 2020 bottle. So a lot of cries about this being reformulated. Blah, 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 boo fucking who. To me, it smells exactly identical as I've always known it, with a very slight variance in the top. It feels like the rose is a little bit drier. It's not as moist. Is this enough to call it a reformulation? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't call this reformulated because it dries down to, you know, the dirty skankiness like I've always known it to. And that's usually the first thing they do in a reformulation is they kind of clean it up, I guess, to make it more sellable, make it more marketable, more pleasing to the masses. And that's not what happened here at all. This is still very pissy, somewhat barnyardy, smells a little bit like butt crack. It's a labdanum bomb is what it is. I get labdanum straight from the top, but it's that really concentrated labdanum that can come off somewhat fecal. Really nice rose in the top. It's kind of a fresh rose. I wouldn't say it's either masculine or feminine. It's just rose oil. There's no gender to it. Oud it's just kind of like smoked balmy notes, smoked woods. You know, nice spicy clove to this. It's very similar to leather oud. It's where, well, leather oud goes leathery. This is also it's got a huge blast of leather in it. You know, this could have been Oud Leather Ispahan. That labdanum is very leather in here, and it's very prominent, and it's very, very similar to leather oud. It's like they took leather oud and they just added a ton of rose to this. This is a rose patchouli with, I don't know, if oud wasn't in the name, I wouldn't have said, I wouldn't have guessed. It's just smoky notes. So that's all very subjective. You can put a smoky note in the perfume and just call it oud, but that's what it is. Clove, patchouli, civet, skankiness, and a ton of labdanum. That's the most prominent thing to my nose, is that dirty, earthy, smoky labdanum, which I love. I love the note of labdanum, but when I got Oud Ispahan, I was madly in love with it. I wore a ton of it, and then I kind of separated myself from it for a few years. I think I went like 3 years, probably 2.5, 3 years without wearing it, because I discovered this, which is a very similar rose oud type of fragrance, if not a little bit more complex, a little bit more challenging. The opening is a little bit more synthetic. The opening really, I struggle with the opening. It's a little bit challenging for me. It smells like burnt tires in the summertime, like industrially burnt tires, but it's got a gorgeous tobacco patchouli dry down, very spicy, maybe even a little bit more animalic than Oud Ispahan. But lately, I've kind of set this on the back burner and I've been reaching for Oud Ispahan a lot more recently. And I thought, it would be great to actually compare the three of these. Santal Royal, which, Santal is in the name and it's considered a sandalwood because that's its namesake and that's what people associate it with. But it is a rose oud ultimately, and Ombre Nomad. So I thought it'd be great to compare these. And what's the common ground between Oud Ispahan, Ombre Nomad, and Santal Royal from Christian Dior, Louis Vuitton, and Guerlain is that they're all under the Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy umbrella. So I'd really like to see how they well, I know, but it would take a little bit of studying to see how they compare or add up, or which I prefer. I think I have an idea. Actually, since I've been wearing Oud Ispahan a lot lately and talking about it, I've really been enjoying it. And right now, I would say this is probably my favorite, but it's so hard to tell. It's like, to judge them and to be discerning. I think I would pick whichever one I happen to be wearing at the time, but three really good rose ouds. Guerlain's also got Oud Essential, which is basically an oud musky rose, which is gorgeous as well. But I kind of prefer Santal Royal to Oud Ispahan. I prefer Santal Royal to Oud Essential. So here is my Oud Ispahan is fragrance of the week for me, my favorite thing I worn. And I had somebody reach out and say, hey, is there a big difference between this vintage Lidge and the newest formulation or the newest release? Because they've been seeing a lot of comparisons saying the new stuff is absolute crap compared to the vintage. And, my response to that is exactly the same as what I found true for Oud Ispahan, is no, there's absolutely a very, very little difference between these, not enough to discern it a reformulation or, an abomination, because it's not that. This latest release is just as beautiful as I've ever known it. I think people get kind of too wrapped up and maybe egos get involved, and I don't know, but a packaging change to me does not denote a change in the fragrance. And even speaking to Sylvain Delacourt, who was in charge of Guerlain while she was still there, I asked her, was there ever a change with Lansdowne Guerlain? She absolutely denied it, and I have no reason to believe that it's been changed. I don't feel it with my nose or the smell or the performance at all. So I don't find that that's true. It's just as pretty as I've ever known it. But I actually do prefer the Eau de Toilette to either of these. But there you go. To whoever's concerned about reformulations, just, it's got to stop. Just fucking knock it off, all that silliness. But let me know your favorite scent of the week, the thing that you've enjoyed the most this week. Yeah, I love to hear what you're all wearing. But thanks for watching. Drop your comment down below, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.